We're good to go, I've been told. So I'd like to call the Pleasant Valley School District Board of Education meeting to order. If you could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then if you could please stay standing for a moment of silence. And Mrs. Belkar, could you please lead us?
I can.
Thank you.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Again, I'd like to welcome everyone that's with us this evening, and if we could have roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Present.
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 Here.
Here.
Thank you. I would like to let everyone know that we did have an executive session. It was held on April the 10th, 2025, immediately prior to the regular scheduled meeting for purposes of personnel matters, including but not limited to performance and or discipline, negotiations, and legal issues. At this time, we have some student highlights from Pleasant Valley Elementary.
You have to be closer.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So we have a really exciting crew of individuals here. Tonight you get to meet our PVI Fair Squad. They are a group of student representatives that are here to talk to you tonight about our new PBIS program that's been newly implemented this school year. And rather than hearing us talk about it, we thought the kids who put all the work into it should be the ones who talk about it. Before we get started, we do want to thank our counselors who worked really hard to help them get prepared for this. They have been working very diligently and practicing and rehearsing, and we're really excited to hear what they have to say. Being a bear stands for focusing on positive.
Hang on a second. It's still-
Hello.
You have to be like really close.
I'd say something, but I better not.
Being a bear stands for focusing on the positive, not the negative. Behaviors we want to see at PVI.
Our last program last year was REACH. In the program, we worked on a packet to learn about positive behaviors. This year, we are not just talking about it, but actually doing the positive behaviors.
We did lessons at the beginning of the year to see what the expectations were and inappropriate and appropriate behavior at PVI. And we also do monthly assemblies to review what it means to be a bear.
And it's not just rewarding the good behavior. You have to work for it.
BEAR stands for be responsible, engage everywhere, act safely, and respect yourself and others.
Being responsible means that you should be prepared
prepared for class, and this means you should have all supplies and use those supplies appropriately. Keep track of your materials. This means you should keep it organized for class. Take care of your locker and keep it clean and do your work. Doing the right thing even when no one is looking. This means you should always be behaving. Do what is expected even without even having to be asked. Some ways to engage everywhere are to participate in class, raise your hand, be nice to others, talk to people and greet people in the hallways, make eye contact when speaking with people and pay attention to class. Other ways to be listen to others while speaking and don't call out, and share your ideas and listen to other people's ideas. Speak up for people who need help and stop bullying. Be nice to teachers and staff always. So there's some ways you can engage everywhere. Let's be a better not just in school but outside of school too. Acting simply is staying seated and facing in front of the bus so you don't get in trouble. Walking in the halls because you don't want anybody else getting hurt. Walk to and from the buses. At recess, stay off the fences and the trees. At recess, play safely so no one gets hurt. No bouncing balls when arriving to or just missing school because you don't want it to be lost. Use school supplies and equipment. This is how to respect yourself and others. Respect the personal space of other people. Be kind to others. Speak kindly to others by using respectful language. You can speak kindly to others by giving compliments. Be a leader. Think of others by putting people before yourself. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Include everyone, not only your friends. Help other people. Show your emotions appropriately to help other students feel better about themselves. Bear Den, where the bears go to cash in their bear bucks. Students can earn bear bucks for being a bear, either $1 bear bucks, $5 bear bucks, or $20 bear bucks. The Bear Den is open every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during Bear Block. Any students with at least 15 bear bucks can visit the Bear Den to cash in their bear bucks for a reward, prizes ranging from 15 to 100 bear bucks. Classes can also earn bear bucks when all the students in the class are being bears. Alright, Bear Den, individual rewards, examples. Bring a stuffed animal to school for 15 bear bucks. Play basketball or ski ball at the Bear Den for 15 bear bucks, or you can sit with a friend at lunch for 25 bear bucks. You can also read to a younger class for 25 bear bucks, or also get a snack from the PTO snack card for 25. And you could also sit at the VIP table for 30 bear bucks, as you can see up on the screen. You can get a token for a free book from the book vending machine for 40 bear bucks. You can have lunch with Miss Albright, Miss Banker, or Officer Reese for 50 bear bucks. You could do 3D printing with Mr. Crosby, which is our technology teacher, for 60 bear bucks. And finally, you could also have an actual video game party for 100 bear bucks.
That rent the little chair.
For class rewards, examples, you can walk on the nation trail, extra recess, or pajama day. You can also get a class breakfast, eat in the courtyard, and extra PE classes during bear block. And you can also get a movie popcorn party and Ritas. Thank you. What are you gonna talk about, what it's like to be a Bear Squad member? When you're in the Bear Squad, you got picked because you were, shown, being a role model, and that is being a bear. So we also attend monthly meetings during the school to, like what we did now to practice for this. And we have other occasions that we sometimes need to get used to and I don't know, just try to help out. Working in the bear den, we get to give kids rewards. They get to cash in their bear dens. Like the last slide, we got to see lots of examples of stuff they could cash in for. Serving as tour guides for the second grade group day. Assist with Find Your Classroom Day over the summer.
We help make the videos used in the beginning of the year for lessons to teach the kids good behavior and bad behavior, and we did it in different areas. They first watched the good behavior, and they wrote down all the stuff they saw that was good, and then they wrote down all the stuff that was bad in the next video, and see what the kids in the bad video could have done better.
Will assist with the second grade transition night in May.
Before I got started, they worked really hard, and this is, I think, for most of them, their first public speaking experience, so we can give them a round of applause. They really have embraced what it means to be a bear, not only being responsible, engaging, acting safely, being respectful. They really are role models throughout the building, and it's really awesome when you see them helping at these events and guiding students through the bear den and doing all of those things. Our staff has worked really hard to get PBIS up and running this year, but we also could not do it without these students. So we're very proud to have them, and they're actually getting ready to start training the newest recruits of the Bear Squad who are coming from third grade into this program. So some final points that we wanted to make. We have some behavior data up there. You'll notice that it fluctuates as the year goes on, but we have, through our monthly assemblies, offering incentives to students, we have seen decreases in referrals based on the PBIS program we have here at the school. We also completed a staff survey last year before we got this rolling, and we started taking staff feedback into the PBIS program. And then we just did it again in February as part of our qualifying year to be a PBIS school, recognized as a PBIS school. And the staff data was really impressive. Having school-wide expectations in place that everyone knows, we went from 74% to 91%. Having a system that is explicitly teaching students those expectations, we went from 53% to 72%. Having a consistent building-wide reward system in place, we went from 45 to 69%. And then making decisions based on data, we went up from 11% to 87%. The behavior data really is driving, and the reward data is driving what we're doing at the school. So we're all really proud of that, and we're going to continue moving toward the next phase through our survey results that we just collected in February from our staff. We're going to be working to develop alternate lessons to help keep the students interested in our expectations. We're going to work with our students and our staff to get fresh ideas after we have holiday breaks and things, so that throughout the year we keep having new rewards coming and showing the students, that way they have new incentives. And then we also want to develop a plan over the summer to increase parent awareness and get them more involved in the BFAR expectations.
Excellent program, excellent presentation, kiddos. Thank you so much. I do have a question. Who out there earned a $20 bear buck? And what did you do to get that? That's amazing. $20. What did you do? Yeah.
I got my $20 bear buck from Officer Leeds from cleaning up at the cafeteria.
Very good. Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Go ahead.
Today I got a $20 bear buck for returning a stuffed animal pass that I found on the floor.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
I got mine for just simply walking and not running to my bus.
That's very smart.
That's how simple it is, just to get there. So it's good to see what
That's great. So I have one more question. How many of you are fifth graders? Mr. Rodriguez, you need to turn around and get their name for next year. Again, thank you for the great presentation and great job, students. Excellent job. Thank you. All right. All right, Mara, can you top that down there?
I don't know. I'm back. Hooray. This is actually going to be the updates from March and some of February.
Is your mic on?
It should be.
Okay.
The green light's on.
Is it on?
Okay.
Okay.
It's on, I guess.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Take care, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. can you hear
That's
me
better.
now? Okay.
Absolutely better.
Yes,
Yep.
I'm back. This is updates from March and like end of February, kind of. So just some things that have happened since then. So I'll start off by saying that our winter debate team was extremely successful. We had our fall debate season where we went to EPCs and stuff, but we also did a winter season this year. The competitions were held on weekends, they were invitational. So it was super successful. All three of the people who decided to compete in it, Caitlin Crawford, Clark Poe, and Hayden Burns, they all qualified to compete at the national championships in Chicago, which is awesome. Good for them. First time we've ever done this, and 100% of the competitors made it to nationals. Pretty awesome. Our scholastic scrimmage team competed in the Colonial IQ Invitational Competition for our region, and they placed second among teams from the Greater Poconos and Lehigh Valley. This is sort of like our postseason competition thing, and we did well again. Can't stop winning. Just yesterday, our FBLA chapter returned from the 2025 State Leadership Conference. So I'm not sure if everybody's heard about this yet. Yay! We had 4 of our members qualify for nationals. Silas Junta, an 8th grader. Whose brother could that be? He placed second in FBLA concept, so he's going to be heading to nationals. He's going to be a member of the high school chapter next year, but he's our only middle school member. Alexander Sonk, a sophomore, placed 4th in Introduction to Financial Math. Matt Altimos, a senior, placed 2nd in Financial Math. The introduction events are for freshmen and sophomores.
regular type is for the seniors and juniors, or sophomores and freshmen, but typically the sophomores and freshmen stick to the intro events. But we had a placer in both of those, so Matt placed second in the regular financial math, and then I placed first in journalism. We also had students competing in open events at states, with sophomores Sharon Yang and Eva Trahimchik placing second and first in their respective events. And that's all for FBLA for now. The drama club held their production of Schoolhouse Rock, which was fantastic. We had a great turnout, and congratulations to the cast and crew on that. And the PPHS prom will be held on May 10th at the Palace Center in Allentown. The student government is working really hard on that right now. So it's going to be a great event. Everybody's looking forward to it. It's kind of like what everybody's buzzing about at the high school for the next month. But yeah, it's been a pretty great month. A little bit slow, but
I think it's going to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's everything?
That's pretty much
Okay.
everything.
Anyone have any questions for you? Okay, thank you so very much.
Yeah, I mean the sports stuff too, but
Okay.
you know,
All right.
it's not my domain. That's been going great too, so.
Very good. Thank you. We do have one community question this evening that was submitted. The question was submitted by Teresa Pesci, I think, from Eldred Township. She asked if all members of the Pleasant Valley School Board read the exact questions that are to be on the Community Partnership for Gun Safety Student Survey. She also asked if there is a projected date for this survey to be answered by the students of the Pleasant Valley School District. Actually, just this evening, all board members did receive the questions. So at this time, in the future, we will decide if we will approve those questions being asked to our students. Well, it's our high school students. So again, we just received the questions this evening, so we will go from there. All right, Mrs. Smale, please, Secretary's report.
Good evening. Tonight I am requesting approval of the minutes of the meeting held on March 27, 2025, and approval of the April 10, 2025 board meeting agenda, including the removal of item 9I.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Berger, seconded by Mr. Walters. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I have to abstain as I was not here.
On the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Pleasant Valley citizens, at this time, is there anyone that would like to address the board on agenda items only? Please come to the podium, state your name, the township you reside in, and you do have a 3-minute limit, and if you could let us know the agenda item you're speaking to.
Good evening, Denise Oakley, Pacific Township, and it's going to be 13B and E, but the other is great job Pleasant Valley FBLA, meeting FBLA at the state conference and the advisors. It was a pleasure meeting the high school assistant principal there too, great job. Now 13B and E, music equipment, we see adjusted the band equipment cost, thank you. Every little bit will help us as the taxpayer.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else, we will move on to the agenda. Treasurer's report, Mrs. Service, please.
Yes, this evening I will be looking for a motion for items 4B through D, A is informational.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Berger, seconded by Mrs. Zip. Is there any discussion?
Just for the Scott Luchin, the arbitration, $6,410, but that's just the arbitration fee for the arbitrator, doesn't include any legal fees or the
No, it's just the arbitrator's fee, and that's split.
So our legal fees on top of that. Okay.
Anyone else? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries. Moving on to unfinished business, Mr. Gilsbach.
Good evening, everybody.
There it goes.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have anything to report, but I did want to say that my daughter and I had an opportunity to go see the high school musical, Schoolhouse Rock, on fantastic job by both the crew and cast. We very much enjoyed it, so that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Anyone else have any other unfinished?
Yeah, I just want to say that we got, I received tonight the report on what was spent for music instruments and stuff like that, and I think we look at this because I know I asked about PBI getting equipment, because I had some parents ask me about their equipment, and it states on there were some instruments purchased the past year. I just want to know that I'll probably stop by PBI just to check it out, so I can inform these parents. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Moving on to new business, Monroe Career and Technical Institute, Mrs. Surface.
Yes, my detailed report is attached, but I want to give an update on the construction. Just this past Monday, the crane was there, lifted the air conditioning units up on the roof. There'll be a small delay in installing the HVAC, so it keeps the project on target to be finished in June. The bricklayers are there, they're doing all the brick on the exterior walls. The stairs have all been done and up to code. The JOC approved a change order in the amount of $13,350 for landscaping. The reason it was a change order is because they ripped out landscaping to put up the new building. The township required that we had to put new landscaping back, which was not part of the original bid. We also had some good news. We have a credit of $10,000 coming because they will not be installing electric shades, which had been originally part of the bid. Business and hospitality room will be completed this week. They will be moving in there next week. It's going to be a great thing. They'll have a new school store. They're all excited about that. Talks continue on new switch gears, which will be the next project that's coming up. We have some issues over there with electrical tripping. So they're trying to do monitoring and find out exactly what is causing it. So that'll be happening over the summer months. And lastly, if you have NCTI seniors, mark your calendars because May 28th will be their senior awards. It will be held here at Pleasant Valley in our stadium. If it happens to rain, it will be May 29th. That's all, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Colonial IU, Mr. Galler's not with us this evening, but his report is attached. PSBA liaison, Mrs. Zip.
Nothing new for this meeting.
Okay. Education report, I have nothing to add this evening. Finance report, Mrs. Surface.
Yes, we'll be calling for it later in the agenda for the approval of our bills.
Okay, thank you. Athletic report, Mr. O'Keefe.
Yes, good evening. A couple quick shout outs here. Kudos to Zachary Prater for earning the MVP honors for Team West in the Lehigh Valley Senior Basketball All-Star Classic. A huge congratulations to Devin Bush of the PD Girls Lacrosse for scoring her 300th goal, and to Riley Rath for reaching 300 points. A shout out to the boys and girls middle school lacrosse teams as they're having a standout season in their inaugural year as a program. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. O'Keefe. Policy report, Mrs. Zip.
We have two policies on the agenda for later, a second reading and a first reading.
Okay, thank you. Capital improvement, Mr. Berger.
Our next scheduled meeting will be in 2 weeks, but just want everybody to remember that the auditorium becomes off limits here in the middle of April as we get into the beginning of the high school renovation.
Thank you. Mr. Clark's not here this evening for technology report. Do we have anything under security, Mr. Walters?
No information at this time.
Thank you. We'll move on to Citizens Advisory Committee, which John and I'll do the first part, John will do the next part. What we have this evening is an alphabetical list by township of who submitted their names to serve on the advisory committee. For Eldred Township, at this time, we only have 2 eligible community residents. So those 2 will make the committee. They are Timothy Hatcher and Mary Claire Hosking. So that takes care of Eldred. If we move on to Polk, we had 7 residents submit their names. So, oh, Jason, you've got we have a random number thing up here. And I guess I'm going to let you, 1 to 7. This is 1 to 7 for this one. Pretty cool. So number 6, and I will say I'm sorry already because I'm not probably going to pronounce the last name right, but it is
Rutledge.
Rutledge? Rutledge. Okay, I had help. So it's Kristen Rutledge. And number 7 is Frank Saviotti. Saviotti. And number 2 is Antoinette Gravel. Now, what we will be doing, those are the 3, because we said there would be 3 representatives from Polk. We will do another spin for an alternate. And number 4 is Jolene Pioli, will be the alternate. Now we'll move on to Ross, where again, we'll be choosing 2, and it's from 1 to 6. Number 4 is Sandra Perry. And number 5 is Jennifer Rufo. And one more time for our alternate. Yeah, I know, it's not that before. And number 3 is Marcia Overpeck, who will be the alternate. And then moving on to Chestnut Hill, where we had 9 applicants, we will be choosing 5. Oops, I said, oh boy, 19, sorry, thank you, 19. Ooh. Number 7 is Nicole Serrano. And number 14 is Amanda Pagana. That's number 2. This is number 3. And number 6 is Tasha Garcia. Number 4 is Allison Fennel. She is number 4. And this is the 5th person. Lucky number 13 is Lindsay Miller. And then we need an alternate, please. And number 12 is Jeremy Livingston as the alternate. Are any of you with us this evening? That's Jeremy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. About that. And I thought I saw, oh, Ann, you're, okay. And you are?
I feel the love, Sue. I feel the love.
And you are?
Lindsay Miller.
Lindsay Miller. Congratulations. Next step is we still need 2 board members to serve on the committee. We have John as our chairperson. I know you said you might be interested. Are you?
I'm time dependent, like,
The earliest I can get here is like 5:30.
Right, no, well, what I'm looking at is sending out an email to all the people who are on the committee, as well as the alternates, which we would hope the alternates would show up as well, they wouldn't sit with the regulars, but they would at least be there in case someone was absent from your township. I give you dates, 2 dates and 2 different times, and try to see, because I know most of you, how many people that are here are working? And it would be hard for you to make like a 4:30 or something like that. Okay, so I'll put in there, and we'll just have to go, majority, because luckily for me, I'm retired, so I can go anytime. The only time I won't go is during my balance classes. But I'll send out an email, hopefully tomorrow, and try to get some dates and times out there and try to get, as many people as we get.
How little school is that?
As far as topics, whatever.
All right, hang on, let's get our
Oh,
board
sorry.
members.
Okay,
Let's get our,
go back.
Well, as long as it's in the evenings, I'll happily,
Okay. Then what would be your earliest?
5:30 is
I mean-
it's once a month?
Once a month.
It's once a month?
Once a month. So, it could be 5, I don't know, Monday, Thursday, we'll look at that, but, so it wouldn't be any earlier than 5:30, so at least that another person.
Yeah.
And then you would be the permanent, so the 2 of us would be permanent, or Sue, would you like to be,
well, let's see if there's anybody else.
okay. No, I just didn't know.
Anyone else interested?
The second one would be like an alternate, it would be someone that could switch every time, like a board member. 2 of us would be alternate, and one would be like.
So it's a case-by-case basis with me, depending on if I have anything lined up during that time. I would absolutely love to contribute to this, but it would depend.
Okay, so let's put Matt down. And if Matt can't do it, how about I'll do the alternate?
The alternate?
How about that? All right, now, go ahead.
Diane said she'd also be on.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. All right, now you can go, John, with the,
So,
Great.
okay, so basically, like I said, I'll send out an email with a couple of dates and times on them. And what I did is I went through all 36 of the candidates, and I cut and pasted what their concerns were as a group. And I put them into areas. One was curriculum, which included the quality, the equity of all the techniques that are used, transparency, comprehensive plan, diversity in the courses, academic scores, planned futures, plan for future AP classes, streaming, more projects, more labs, real world skills such as financing was mentioned, English language learning, facilitate the love of learning, scholarship, technology use, professional development, teacher education. That all fell on the curriculum. Then the next one will be community, that had 33 responses. Then the next one was community, I put it as community. So community, under that was trust with the board, with policies, implementation, being followed, community participation, partnership with the community, communication, PD image, relationships, parents, students, and teaching staff, accountability of administration, staff, and students. That all fell under basically the community that they connected. I just took from what the community as a whole wrote out there and put these in this area. That had 18 responses. Fiscal responsibilities such as budgeting, tax dollars on real education, effective use of grant money, we had 16 responses on that. Safety, which also included physical safety, mental health, bullying, well-being, discipline issues, under 15 people responded to that. Then teachers was another area, it says teaching staff treatment, retaining our teachers, supporting them, and the duties that they have. We had 8 responses there. Cyber school, online, the impact on education, electronics versus live instruction, 3. Athletics just had 2. Transportation had 1. And not quite, this one says school food security for all students. I'm not quite sure what that meant, but I put it in there. School lunch, that had 1. Facility usage by outside group was 1, and the school calendar was 1. So that was the main concern that was expressed by the people that wanted to be part of the committee. And then according to the policy, we as a board, for at least the first time, would pick a topic of probably one of those in order for us, I mean, we're picking copies, they basically gave us the information, and we're just gonna decide which one we'd like to start with, or, so that's, as a board as a whole, what would you like for the first time around? Then after that, when we're as together as a group, then we can decide more which way we want to go. Again, this whole process is new. Alright? It's new, it's not, we know it's not gonna be perfect at first. We're gonna learn as we go along. We're looking for everyone to work with us, not to come and say, well, this is that. No. Don't complain, just tell us how to fix it. You know, what do you think you thought? And again, the board has the final say on this, but the idea is we want to hear from you. We want to hear what are some directions you think you'd like to see us be going, and, you know, have the backing and the research and stuff like that to show, hey, this is why we think our children should be getting this, or that type of thing.
All right, suggestions for topic? It's everybody,
Curriculum.
since,
I think curriculum's a hot topic. I think talking about online learning within the curriculum, I think it's something that people have brought up at board meetings over the last 6-7 months. And I think it's something that we need to talk about with the community.
thoughts?
Is that in the top?
Yeah, that was the top one.
33.
Yeah.
Is that, I'm not looking at it right this second, I have it for now. Heck, that's not what I'm looking at.
That was the most concerned.
Yeah, so I feel like something in that box, curriculum makes
Well,
sense.
it would be
It's all of those things.
Correct, so we
Yeah.
group it under curriculum and then go from there. I think that's.
Yeah, I don't think you can get to all of those things that are in that box.
No.
But
No,
at
I
least
think
you
it's
have,
great. If you ever had the opportunity to take that in that curriculum, pray to those out amongst the group, and then take the top 3 and work from there, and start, you know.
Yeah,
you gotta
narrow.
show voice
Yeah,
on
like
that.
you could take these things at the first meeting,
Right.
right, and then have everybody kind of weight these
And
from
that's,
top to bottom, and then work maybe on the first 3. I do have it printout.
okay. Now, my question with that would be curriculum. Like, it states in our policy that we could ask an administrator or principal or someone to come, like, would that not be the first meeting to have, like, someone from curriculum, like
absolutely.
the curriculum supervisor, something like that they can answer some of the questions right away?
Mhm.
So,
Have both the supervisors.
so both curriculum supervisors, so I put that on the thing for the first time around.
I just need the date and time.
Yes, we'll just go with that.
okay,
So,
is everybody okay with that?
okay, so we're gonna go with curriculum, and then we're gonna ask the curriculum supervisors,
To attend.
and I will send email with a couple of dates and times and try, I'm probably going into 2, just so we're not having a bunch of different dates out there. And again, to the alternates would hopefully come, just in case someone from this group would be present, they can give, especially during that meeting, everyone is invited. There will be a time at the end where you'll be able to make comments as a committee and stuff like that, because again, so somebody could be on the committee, but we don't want 30, 40 of us sitting in there and everyone wants to talk, and people will know that I'm very, they don't like that, but I want, we want to have control, but we want to be able to accomplish something, so. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, yes, your turn,
Yes.
Dr. Howard.
Yeah, tonight I'm seeking approval for board agenda items 7B and 7C. 7D is informational.
So move.
Second,
A motion by Mr. Walter, seconded by Mr. Gizinski. Is there any discussion?
just for 7B to close again, I know we brought this up in March.
Yep.
He was gonna look into like the.
Yeah. There is going to be, this is just I don't know, it's just the approval. There is an agreement that has been developed. Actually, I sent it on to the township. I did just get an email back. I think it was this morning saying it's fine. So that'll be on next board meeting for the agreement to be approved. Anyone else?
This is 7, did you say 7B?
7D is informational.
7D, I'm just curious what this is, I mean,
I can talk a little bit about that, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Van Voorhees. It's just a multi-step authentication to protect the school district. I'll let you talk about it, Jason.
Sure, so the primary change to the policy is to add on, basically it's a hardware token. It basically, when you log into your computer, it'll ask you for 6 random digits instead of just doing your password. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the internet's a scary place and there's a lot of bad actors out there. It's causing a lot of industry and a lot of businesses, a lot of unnecessary risks. Think about Power School not that long ago, right? This is a step to ensure that if someone uses one of those, someone might need my credentials, instead of them being able to log in and immediately access our system, it's gonna ask them for a 6-digit number. And that number is either attached to my phone, in this case, it's a hardware token. You click the button, it shows you 6 digits, which means that someone can't log in without that token. It makes it much harder. Super important for us to protect our community and make sure we're protecting your information, our information. It saves our district money, and also most insurances now are actually looking at possibly even reducing how much you have to pay as a district if you're implementing stuff like this.
And just one other question with that, you won't be able to ask questions until the end, sorry. As a board, I just, like the new policy, like, is there a reason why we don't do that during the working session instead of like why it's now?
We did talk about it at some point.
You didn't talk
Oh,
about
yes.
it?
Yeah.
It was at the
I
last,
can't remember
Yeah,
the last week.
yeah, it was at the last working session.
Yeah, we did talk about
Thank you.
it. Anyone else? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries.
Human Resources, Mrs. Fulmer.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm seeking approval of items 8B through 8E. Items 8F through 8H are informational.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Berger, seconded by Mr. O'Keefe. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries.
Tonight I'm seeking approval of items 9B through 9H. Items 9J through 9K are informational. Items 9I is removed.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Berger, seconded by Mr. Kaczynski. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, a couple questions. 9D, can you explain the cycle so the community understands what that was, please?
Let me just get there, sorry. Yeah, so this is a stipend for coverage for someone going out on a leave of absence. She will assume some of the responsibilities due to the time of the year that is. It's an important time of year where things are due. So we just wanted to make sure we had that coverage in place.
So this lady who's receiving the stipend is because, so there's another person that's out at the
Yes.
time and we're covering her.
Yes, to just make sure everything is taken care of at the end of the year.
Correct. And also the building activity monitor, that's part of the supplementary contract, is that correct?
It is. We have monitors built in there. I believe one that you see is a detention monitor, so this falls under the same pay scale. And what this is, the activities monitor is to monitor students after school that are there for activities or for sporting events or things like that, just to make sure there's order and some type of adult around to make sure, there aren't any bad actors or anything. So, yeah, safety.
And last one, 9H, the MOU, that's with the Professional Teachers Association.
Yes.
And that MOU is settling how many grievances?
3 grievances, so now at this point, all but 1 grievance, prior grievances are all settled.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries.
Tonight, I'm seeking approval for item 11A.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Walters, seconded by Mr. Berger. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries.
Operations, Mr. Smale.
Tonight I'm seeking approval of item 12A.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Zip, seconded by Mr. Kaczynski. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries.
Business Management, Mrs. Smale.
Tonight I am requesting approval of items 13B through 13P.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Walters, seconded by Mrs. Surface. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, the item 13G, food contract, which you just, you want to know if there are changes in the previous year or.
Sure. We had it for a couple of changes are in food service contract. There's obviously increasing salaries and benefits for the support staff. There are some new equipment purchases that we'll be making. We've accounted for any anticipated revenues increase. Not passed yet, but that are being talked about. So we did anticipate for a revenue decrease for that. And we have an increase in the general manager from the WITSIDS because we expanded the program into the summer for our Bear Academy and for our ES1 program. They'll be providing the breakfast and lunches for those programs this year.
And the increase for the salaries, basically our staff.
Our food service staff.
Whoever
Yes.
we have with that.
Yes.
Also, under 13 H, I want to use the computers.
This is our financial software that the business office uses. It's for fund accounting, people, budgeting, and our staff portal. This is for the new one.
And 13J going to BHA. I'll explain how that's working, so.
So BHA is an educational placement for some of our students that we work with. Each year they offer us that if we pay them 20% of our estimated costs, they'll discount the rest of the hourly rates throughout the year. So for this one, with us making this early payment for 25-26, we end up saving $221,000.
Are they scheduled to move into the home building for next year?
They are scheduled to move in for July. I don't know if the state was at full. I didn't get an update on that yet, but
And
they are.
They paid the lease on that, right?
They do that.
Yeah, they didn't pay rent. And then one last one, 13K, the science cards. You didn't play with grants. Is that something that was anticipated at the high school with the gym renovations, or is this just something in addition?
It was in the budget for the high school project, the
So-
furniture money. However, because the middle school furniture came in under budget and this money has to be spent by June 30th, science cards were added.
It's for
and
middle
that
school.
takes some of it away from us.
It's for middle school and high school.
Okay, so that's just was added. I mean, I just didn't know if we were saving money by using stuff from the grant, and then that one money that would still be in our capital reserve that we could use for other stuff.
Correct, that's exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
And it helps the teachers during the renovation because they have to move, so it's for science, so they can lock up, the cards are locked, so they can for experience.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that motion carries. Any new business?
No, nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. Pleasant Valley citizens, at this time, is there anyone that would like to address the board? Please come to the podium, state your name, township you reside in, and again, there is a 3-minute limit.
Good evening. My name is Douglas Kay. I'm here as a father of Roman, a student at Pleasant Valley whose rights have not only been ignored, but systematically violated under your care. Roman was recently accused of being under the influence of a controlled substance while on school grounds. This accusation is based solely on the unverified statement of another student who was already caught with a vape device, a student who had every reason to redirect blame in an effort to lessen their own consequences. No vape was found on Roman, no drug test was performed by the school, and yet my son was detained, isolated, intimidated, and then examined by a school nurse who declared him intoxicated based on a flashlight test and a blood pressure reading. This is not medical evaluation. This is pseudoscience at best and malpractice at worst. What followed was even more disturbing. I received a notice of informal hearing accusing Roman of violating the student code of conduct and informing me that he is being suspended for being under the influence of a controlled substance. According to this letter, on April 14th, we are expected to attend a hearing where Roman will be provided an explanation of the offense and afforded the opportunity to explain the circumstances surrounding the event. Let me be clear, this is not due process. It is an insult to the very concept of justice. Constitutional protections do not disappear the moment a child walks into a school building. The Fourth Amendment protects Roman from unreasonable searches and seizures. The Fifth and 14th Amendments guarantee due process before the deprivation of liberty, reputation, or educational access. This district does not follow proper legal protocol and has failed to provide credible evidence and is proceeding with punitive action that could damage my son's academic record, emotional health, and future, all without the basic legal safeguards he is entitled to as a U.S. citizen. You are operating in direct violation of constitutional law. You are also failing your moral and professional obligations to protect the children in your care from injustice and harm. Roman is 16 years old. He is a child. And this process, as it stands, is abusive, legally indefensible, and will not be tolerated any further. If this district does not immediately withdraw the accusation, rescind the pending suspension, and correct its policies regarding the treatment of students accused without evidence, we will have no choice but to pursue legal action, both to protect Roman and to ensure that no other student is subjected to this type of institutional misconduct. Roman and every other child in this district deserve better, and I will not rest until justice is served. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Lindsay Miller, Chestnut Hill Township. I actually have a question. This is my first time, so sorry. It was around the policy for the employee badges, key fob, as well as the multi-factor authentication. Just curious, what's driving you toward using the rotating code versus something like an app where you would receive a notification that would be non-phishable?
Mr. Miller, we don't answer questions during our business meeting. So we are having a work session. That'll start immediately at the end of this meeting. So if you'd like to stay, we could probably answer it then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What's that?
He can touch base on that.
Or as soon as the meeting's over, he said he'll touch base with you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Jeremy Livingston. I live in Chestnut Hill. I actually wanted to talk about the same policy. And Mr. Voorhees, I'm an expert in cybersecurity. I'd love to offer my advice or anything if I can help you on that. I run cybersecurity for a university in New Jersey. So I wanted to talk about that with you as well. So thanks.
Thank you.
And thank you for selecting me for.
Were you lucky number 13?
It's been a long time since I've been up here. Leah Collins, Chestnut Hill Township. I just have a few things to say. My kid is addicted to online stuff, thanks to the COVID BS that was forced on all of us in 2020, when my kids were meant to stay home, and maybe 3 months before my doctor, my pediatrician, said 2 hours of screen time a day is the healthiest and maximum that you should be putting your kids in front of screens. My kids are literally junkies to these blue light crack. Like, it's insane. Why are we still spending money on technology like this, especially after the Power School breach? And I just got a notification that all of our information was shared. And from the lawsuit that's going forward with Power School, I hate that program, because the teachers will have assignments and my kids will get zeros at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then all of a sudden at 3 o'clock, now they have a 99. So for that 8-hour period, I'm like really ticked at my kids because they're not doing their stuff. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I hate this technology, and it's making our kids dumber. I'm watching it happen. And it's so heartbreaking to watch how intelligent my generation, which is Gen X, how we can think for ourselves and we are able to figure things out logically. And we're sitting here spending millions on technology. You cannot tell me that books cost more than this. My kids don't even read books. It's insane. They sit there and they doom scroll all day. And the crap that comes out of their mouth, and then the bullying that happens because of it. It's stupid. Can we please back off on the technology and back off on all the screen times? Because the teachers just sit them in front of YouTube videos and they don't even teach anymore. It's really sad. It's really sad to watch it. And it's sad to watch my kids hate school, because they used to love school and now they hate it. So that's all I have to say. God bless.
Thanks. Seeing no one else approach the podium, Pleasant Valley School Directors, does anyone have anything this evening?
I'll close it. Couple things. One, I asked at the last time about our student advisory committee. And found out only met in November of last year. There's one coming up in March. Did that ever happen in March?
We actually have met with 9th and 10th grade, and I can't remember if it was 11th or 12th, and 12th, just last week and both of them.
Also, I know we talked about it a little bit, but I personally appreciate the email that we got from the PE curriculum chairperson, Ms. Tompkins, for keeping us in the loop. I know, of course, she should go through her principal and superintendent, stuff like that, which is good, you were to go, but I also like the chance that, we were giving some notification, if we would have been notified ahead of time, that might have helped us. But I would like all of our staff to feel that, go through your steps, but don't be afraid as their last resort, hey, just CC it. We don't want to hear this, that we say, this is what we brought forward, here are some of the things that were happening, this is what we think maybe, but go through your principals and superintendent, and then if you don't get something, bring it to us, because just like Dr. Conrad said, he insisted to us as board, there is no recourse for any of you speaking up. So, we're gonna hold them to it. So if you bring something up as a staff, and we want to hear it, it's like we hear both sides of the story, and then, we can make our decisions, but I just think that that's something that happens. I remember the last time Mrs. Zip was talking about meeting with staff. Mr. O'Keefe was talking about meeting with staff. I think Mr. Walters, maybe one time said about like meeting with the staff. Maybe that's something we keep bringing it up, but it doesn't go anywhere. That's something we need to
Yes, I remember what you're talking about.
Right.
I do.
That maybe after a faculty meeting or something like that, maybe someone could go to each of the schools, just sit there and say, hey, what staff, what do you want to share with us? I mean, just to hear what they're saying. We have the advisory committee now for the citizens, so we're gonna be hearing what they're saying. And again, whether we act or not on it is something, but at least we have the opportunity, the board member sitting in there without an administrator, go ahead, tell us your beef, there's no recourse for it. We just want to hear your side of the story, and then we at least have something to compare. So I think that's something we need to look at as a board, to try to get ourselves out there and meet with our staff as well as a community. I don't know if that's something we put up for.
I personally would like to think about it, but
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
Anyway, that's.
Okay, that's it? Okay. No, good? Down here? Okay. Dr. Conrad, remarks?
Short. Keep it short. Well, I'm definitely talking about Dr. Conrad. I just want to let the community know that on Thursday, April 24th at 4:30, we are going to have a groundbreaking ceremony for the high school renovation project in the front of the high school by the bear sculpture statue. We invite everyone to join us to celebrate the occasion of finally getting the project started. So we hope to see all of you there. If it rains, we'll probably just step right inside the building and have the event there. I want to let the community know as well that the Thursday, June 19th board meeting is going to be moved to Monday, June 23rd. So if you're planning to attend, there is that change. And for everybody, there are a lot of great things going on in the schools at the last few months. So please check our calendars and get in to see some of the great things happening. And in honor of Dr. Conrad, go Bears.
But also that change, you were saying that was due to our budget, correct? So just so people know that, we had just changed it because of.
Right, we have to have the budget 30-day preview.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. At this time, could I have a motion? My two people aren't here tonight. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Would you like 5 minutes and then we'll start our working session?
Go.
What's that?
Go.
Just go?
Yep.
Okay, you want to just go?
I thought they wanted a couple minutes to answer
Oh,
questions.
okay.
Yeah, let's
5 minutes. 5 minutes. It
5
is,
minutes is never
it's
5 minutes.
8:03.
Nice try, though.
I know, but I'll round them up.
Yeah, I'm hoping to actually get the meeting. I want to actually.
It was good to see you.
Good to see you. Safe travel home. You don't have too far to go, right, Slayton? Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, all right. And you got the paper, right? You got all this? Yeah, I just thought of that. Okay. Oh, okay. You'll follow up with them? Okay, very good. Thank you. I gotta go get my water. I forgot it. Oh, my mouth is like,
Yeah.
can use now towards these projects, which just means there's less that has to come out of your capital reserve to finish the project. And then you'll see in the far, not far right, but the cash reserve column there, at the bottom, that 13.1 million is what we expect then that you'll have to use out of your cash reserve to finish the project, because we won't do another borrowing to fund the high school project. Now, I say that, and that's the plan. If for some reason we get to 2026 or 2027, something else happens, you need extra dollars, we can always go back and do another borrowing if we have to, but that is not the plan. So we have that on the back burner as a safety net if we need it, but again, not the plan. And then the next slide is just the kind of millage summary, if you will, that we show you each time we come. The two green columns are the columns that we've already done, locked in interest rates, those are knowns. And then column 5 is the projection on the $40 million that we're gonna borrow coming up here, and that will finish out the project. I was telling Mrs. Smale earlier that I wish every district followed a project plan like this district has. You have all of the millage in place that we think is gonna be necessary to fully fund not only the pieces we've already done, but the additional 40 million. So we don't anticipate any other required millage increase in conjunction with this unless we needed to go out and borrow additional money, which is not the plan, again, not the plan. So we are in a great spot. The debt in and of itself, after you're done, will still only run out 20 years. People who finance large projects like this usually can't keep it within a 20-year time frame. Under the constraints of Act 1, they usually have to go out 25, 30 years, not unusual. You guys are still keeping it in a 20-year term, which is fantastic. Also, it decreases your interest cost. And then the last slide is just the financing schedule. So again, we don't need any action. We've already done that part, but we always said, before we do anything, we're always gonna come back to the board and kind of get you all to nod your heads and say, yep, it's time to go, let's do this. So that's what we're doing here tonight. Assuming that's the case, we'll start working with the administration to get all the behind the scenes stuff kind of done, the official statement, the rating, all of those things, and plan to be in the market sometime in mid-May, early to mid-May. And then that means the funds will be in the bank for you sometime in mid-June. I'm happy to take any questions.
So that's the money, I'm sorry, so that,
Slide are you?
oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at
Next one, back,
Go
Jason.
back.
Jason, that one,
Yeah, that
yep,
one.
that one.
So the 40 million in, I'm sorry, in column 5, that's the money that we would spend first.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And I know that we've had a call between the administration and PSDLAF, who holds your bond funds, and, you know, made them aware of how we want to spend on the money and how we want to lock up the other money longer term while rates are high, because we're not going to spend it until wherever it says on this schedule. So we're all kind of in concert to make sure we're maximizing those dollars.
Anyone else? Again, kudos to our administration, to you, Ally. Earning almost 1.6 million in interest on that 30 million that we borrowed just is, to me, is unbelievable. That doesn't, I've been here a long time and seen other borrowings and never had that type of interest earnings. So that's really great.
I would say kudos to the board, because a lot of times people don't take our recommendation to go ahead and do things like borrow it ahead of schedule and then turn around and do it again and invest it. So
Yeah,
kudos to all of you.
it's really great. Thank you. What else?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good work.
All right, Tammy, you're still up, huh?
So, item B, attached to the cap reserve, the 2018 to 2023 bond and the 2024 bond March reports. The capital reserve account has an available balance of $15,995,726.45 at March 31st, 2025. The 2018 bond has an available balance of 0 at March 31st, 2025. Again, in 2023, bond also has a 0 available balance, and the 2024 bond has a 0 available balance. Those 0 available balances, the monies have been allocated to different pieces of the high school project. The money hasn't been spent, it's just been allocated. All interest earned during the month of March has been rolled into the construction costs, which will lower the amount needed for the high school renovation project and other district facilities. Any questions on those reports? Item C, attached is the FTEP report for February. Pleasant Valley's FTEP reserve balance at February 28, 2025 was $5,024,401.53. This is equivalent to 5.5 months of reserves. We are required to maintain a 4-month reserve, so therefore we are in a good standing position with FTEP. Any questions on that?
Tammy, I don't know if were you here when we've done a funding holiday? At what percent were we at when we did a funding holiday?
What, in our balance?
Yes.
I believe it was like 10%, I believe,
Okay.
is what was in there.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. I'm gonna turn over the food service stuff to Mrs. Seitz. She's gonna review, March's numbers for our food service department.
Good evening, everyone. Item D is attached are the cafeteria meal totals for March, which I will go over. The March breakfast meals served were 24,185. Lunch meals served were 51,822. The after-school snacks were 16,388, and the a la carte sales were $27,210.60. Any questions on that? And then item E is just the attached to the Woodson's monthly newsletter for March for your review.
Anyone have any questions? All right, I'd like to.
The only comment I would make is the students are still appear to be quite pleased with what you're doing. So I think our choice is working for us. I hope it's working well for you too.
All right, at this time, I'd like to ask the public if there's anyone that'd like to make any comments or, excuse me, any questions on the finance piece that we just went over. Yes.
I just have finance for the 30 million that's been invested. Are those investments safe? I mean, with all the volatility that we're seeing in the market right now?
Yes, there's invested in U.S. Treasury and CDs that are locked with interest rates.
All right, thanks.
All right, seeing no one else, moving on to education and curriculum. Dr. Howard.
Yes, I just thought I would at each meeting just give it a little bit of an update, nothing major of where we are with some of our items that we've been looking at. We have started with PBE and PBI. We are planning for next school year. We have teams of teachers working on the new ELA program that we'll be implementing. And while we were doing this and working through the program and planning for next year, there are items that our teachers need in order to be successful. We are buying some extra kits for class sizes to account for that, so for extra classrooms. And we are buying resources to support writing that goes along with our ELA program. So at the next meeting, I will be coming with those items to purchase. And for grades K through 5, that will be a total of $188,000 that will be paid for through grant funds. Science, we were notified on April 7th that the science kits that we use in grades K through 8, they are what I like to call sunsetting. After next year, they will no longer be producing the materials for those kits. So we were not going to move in this direction for next year, but since we will not be able to have kits after next year, we are going to start looking at science, and we are including teachers from K to Keystone to be involved in that process and to see what we need to support our science program. I think it's a good time to look at that as well with the steel standards and that shift at the state. So I just wanted to let all of you know that. And the next meeting, we will be extending our math program for 2 years, which is iReady, and that will be $209,000. And we decided to put that off a little bit, especially for our elementary teachers, especially at E. Those teachers teach all subject areas. We did not think that it was fair to ask them to implement a new ELA program and to be evaluating a math program at the same time that they'd have to implement. We don't want to overwhelm anybody, and we want to be there to support. So I wanted to let you know that we will be coming with those items, and that will be paid for from grant money as well.
So, go ahead.
I'm sorry, so the iReady.
Yeah.
Is what we're using
Now.
now. We're gonna renew that.
We're just gonna we're gonna extend the contract, yes.
Right, because right now we just don't wanna
Too much.
ask them to do a new math program.
I didn't think it's too much for,
And we're extending it for 2 years, you said?
yes, and everybody will be at closure at the end of that 2 years, because if you remember, we had the elementary, then we
Yes,
added, so
got
we will
it.
all be at the same place at the end of that 2 years.
And I think I wrote the number right, 209 or 290?
209.
209, okay, I did write it right. And then going back to science.
Yes.
Question on that.
Yes.
You mentioned K through Keystone again, like we did with the reading.
Yeah.
So, again, to vertically align, is that
Well,
what
we're
your
gonna
thought
look,
is?
we are gonna look, but when we look at the science program, it's quite different in the secondary than it is to the elementary, but we need to look at the resources that they need as well.
Oh, okay, so you're just, okay. You're not saying that we're looking for a program?
No.
Okay.
No.
Like we did with, okay, got it. Anyone else?
Yeah, so you're just, I'm just going with the science, which Sue's in there. So next year, you just want them to start looking at,
Resources.
to start looking at.
Yeah, it takes a while to go through that, and we want to, and you know, as we did with ELA, we want to include people from every grade level at every building. So we're going to
to implement it
the following year.
the following year.
Yes.
I guess that would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, also, your team of teachers, you said are working on the program at the elementary, like, when are they doing this? Are they just after school or is this,
No, it's during school day, and we get substitutes for the classroom. It's a half day.
and how often does that happen?
They have met, I could be wrong on this, I believe 4 times so far. And what we do is we share the substitutes, so it's being done a little bit different at each building. At PVE, it is done by grade level, so we have a couple teachers at K, a couple at first, a couple at second, and they get together and they work. At PVI, they're doing it all together, so a couple teachers from each grade level are all working on 3, they're all working on 4, and they're all working on 5.
I was just wondering, if it's coming down to the end of the year and it's like we're pulling those teachers out, you know, is that gonna have effect on their scores because they're, you know,
Well,
it's a sub and
yeah.
stuff like that?
And that's definitely a way to look at that, but it's also.
Well, I know it has to be done.
Yeah, but we also have currently, at least at E, we have a large number of our PDS students who are there with our teachers and they're in the classrooms. That's not the case at every building, but this way we can ensure that every grade level is represented. It's hard once the summer comes to get to, there's so many different plans. And it is cost effective to do it during the school day, and we think it's that important that we get the curriculum written to the resource matching the standards. And it's just that important for us to get everybody on the same page. So it is a priority to us and to do that.
And one thing you said, resources above what the program, so we purchased this big program and we still need resources on top of that.
We would need it with any program we purchase. Yeah, so like we're looking at writing. We want to make that a focus. I know that meeting with Mr. Pomposello last week and some of his teachers, writing is going to be a focus to have the kids writing more. That is something that was maybe a deficit with the current program that we were using. So yes, we're going to do this. And this is coming from our teachers. So our teachers are looking at this and saying, this is really what we need, that we think to need to be successful. And I really want to be there to support them with what they want.
Oh, exactly, but those resources, are they, the data, is that gonna fit into this program that?
Yes.
Any whatever
Yes.
program? So-
Yes.
So we're making sure that matches.
This HMH is compatible with NWEA. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone in the public on the education curriculum that we just spoke about?
The science kits and what's coming down in 2 years, that's generated from PDE, or is that even federally, like you're, like?
No, so the kits are resources that we use to teach the science standards. So the kits are something we purchased for a company and they're used in the classroom. Those are gonna be discontinued. So I'm bringing it to the board so we can purchase those now. So we can have the program that we currently use for next school year. I'm afraid if we don't purchase them now, the company knows they're not using this program, they're not gonna manufacture a lot, and I'm sure we're not the only school that uses them. So I wanna make sure we get them first. So we can continue with that program, and then while we're continuing with that program, we're going to look at the science program with the new NGSS standards.
NGS, okay.
Anyone else?
NGS.
Next generation science.
Okay, moving on to operations. Mr. Smale.
Good evening. A little update on the routine project we have going for the admin middle school PD, PBI. I'd like the board to consider a combinating kit. What that kit is $990. All the cords that we're putting in the doors, you can remove them, and this kit will allow us to change the tumblers inside the core. If for whatever reason, like we went through and picked what key should work, what door, whether it be a gym teacher has access to it, an administrator has access to it, teacher, whatever. But if for some reason down the road we decide to change that door, we can just take that combinator kit and change the core. Fairly handy device, $990. I'd like to be able to put that on for approval at a future board meeting.
They work all of our doors. You ever change any of our doors?
Yeah, we're gonna have to say,
We're gonna need a new renovation door that we're probably gonna be different than the old doors from PDE, PBI.
right, this three-key thing, we're gonna have the same key system throughout the entire district now, except for Polk and Eldred, or, yeah, Polk and Chestnut Hill.
We okay with that?
Maybe first go back, maybe first go back to the manufacturer and say, we just bought this much money from you for the renovation and the doors. Maybe throw in that $900 key, see what they say.
I can try that, sure.
Or we cut it in half or something.
I mean, seems like I would just be like, you know what, go ahead and.
Give it to me.
Go ahead, and here you go, thank you for your huge purchase.
Right.
But yeah.
Happens
I'm okay,
kind
I'm
of
okay.
Kind of, yeah, it's kind of like the freight, huh? We just talked about last meeting.
They all do that. Right, no, that's great. Now the next one.
Yeah, next one.
The next one is more than $900.
Yeah,
The representatives from James Dorchak came and did the walkthrough, he went through and marked down every door, gave us the price. And then when we did the final walkthrough to figure out what keys are gonna operate what door, I realized they missed quite a few doors. So with the additional hardware, it's $12,867 more.
From the initial price of,
The initial price was $344,000, $975.
Yeah.
But then when there's grant money, was what was it?
$189,000 of that is grant money, the other rest of it allocated to the capital reserve.
So this additional, we're gonna find capital.
This would be a change order to the capital reserve account. This would be something.
Did we fail to show them the doors, or did they miss them?
They plain missed them, because when we did the final walkthrough, that I called them, like, you missed this, you missed that. They were here on a day that there wasn't any school, so, and they had the key to go to every door, and they said, I asked them to go with, and they said, no, we got it, but they didn't have it.
what school is this?
There was a lot of,
Says middle school.
middle school was the main.
Oh, you said.
Says 9 and 4.
Administration, middle school.
Correct.
Yeah.
They missed quite a few in the middle school, like up in the science area, that in between the science rooms, there's a closet, and there's like 5 doors to get in that thing, and they missed
There's a lot of
everyone.
connecting rooms over there too.
And you want to put that on for the next board
If
meeting?
that's okay.
Okay.
And everything's covered now? Like, you went and checked that?
I went and checked every door. Yeah.
And we're gonna check
I don't
every
think
door
we
once it's
had a
done.
choice.
I agree.
Correct.
Why would we
When you
not
say
do those?
that,
Yeah, right,
I don't-
exactly.
we don't have a choice.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
And I will mention to them, see if we can throw that out. Please, they're
For their error, yeah. All right, and that's it, Randy?
That's it.
Okay, anything from the public then on operations, the items we just talked about? Okay, moving on to transportation.
Just update with flip to one-way traffic on Route 115, opening up the northbound lane, closing the southbound lane, took place this morning. I waited to change this till this morning because I didn't know if it was actually gonna happen, but it did happen, it did happen this morning. And buses have been routed, so that there's no interference in drop-off times or pickups.
All went smoothly this morning then?
Right, I was gonna say, how many phone calls did I get today?
None about this.
Not about
No complaints so far.
That's great. All right. Any questions on that issue?
I know Norm brought this up before, about the RFP for the busing contract. I mean, I was here in the audience the first time around when it was going through, and the biggest complaint was that we didn't give the other contractors enough time. So I'd like to say that we should be really getting that RFP out. We should be waiting for a student. It doesn't matter. We still should have it out.
You might not have been at the meeting. We did discuss it.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, we did.
So when's it coming out? I was there, but I just wanted to. Okay.
No, it's not.
Just about finished or sent over to Mark's office for him to review it. We are going to give first student an opportunity on May 8th to come in,
Right,
present, do that.
And then-
after that, the board can direct me which way they want to go. Out for RFP or.
So I guess that's what I'm saying. So we're waiting.
Till the 8th of May.
Not waiting for the RFP. I'd like to see it get out now. I mean, it just.
Well, the contract doesn't expire this year. It expires the following year.
Still, you have to give.
That's over a
Like you said,
year.
somebody
That
has
would
to
be, that would be over a year for those. You know.
I mean, we did ask them to move their presentation up because this was a hot topic when we discussed this. I don't think.
Right, no, I was there.
So,
That's what I said.
okay.
Norm mentioned it.
From August until, we were trying for April.
Actually, for tonight.
For tonight.
Tonight.
We were trying for tonight.
So they're coming in May.
Right.
To do their presentation to the board, of what they're looking at. And the RFP will be ready to go out, it advertises for 3 weeks, and then we can open, get open for.
So they're just giving us something based on our old one, so the RFP. How are they not knowing what the RFP is gonna be? How are they just gonna give us what they?
They've been our carrier
Right.
for
So they
15 years, so they know the routes.
So that's what basically, so they're just going on, okay. Thank you.
Anyone on that in the public? Okay, technology, Mr. Van Noy.
Sure, so I addressed this when we discussed the board policy that was for first read. This is actually the attachment to that, this would actually be the multi-factor authentications. I don't really have any more to say other than what we said at the board meeting, so if there's any questions, you can certainly ask.
Have any questions on that?
I'm curious on the conversations that you might have with some of the individuals in the room now.
Sure. So, in those individuals, at the end of the board meeting, there was some questions about why we chose which was to get the actual hardware devices instead of just attaching it to a cell phone app. We discussed that complications with asking all of our staff members and faculty members to have a school app or something that's attached to school on their personal devices, and what could potentially become an issue with some of our employees not wanting to do that. So, in order to make sure that our systems are safe, or as safe as we can get them, we chose to do the hardware tokens instead.
Mm-hmm. I do know they use them at Pocono Mountain. They've been using them up there because my daughter-in-law and son have them.
And
There, they work fine.
unless I, stand corrected, but I think after speaking with the individuals with those concerns, it kind of made sense why we were going to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, any questions from the public? Okay. Do we have anything under policy this evening? Do we have, all right, do we have anything under security?
None at this time.
Security, I just, quick one, just like, I know we got the renovations coming up and breaking ground. Is there a plan for security for, when we start shutting this down and that down, and how they're gonna make sure everything's secure is there a plan that they're gonna present to us, or, I mean, not out here, because we don't want people knowing what it is, but I mean, at least us in the back room there, so we know this is covered, that's covered.
I think we discussed that at our meetings, we discussed that.
At committee level.
Yeah.
But maybe,
Not just the security within the building, but also like the rerouting. It's gonna be, just as we ask everybody in the staff to be flexible, our communities have to be very flexible with the
Traffic patterns.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Athletics, it's only 8:47. We're 3 hours early tonight.
I think it's me. I think it's me. I would like to publicly say I don't speak as much as Dr. Conrad.
So just a few things. One, on the agenda, excuse me, is study hall.
Yeah.
So that's on there because two things. One, our lacrosse teams can't go on the turf to practice until track leaves the turf. So there is a good hour and a half where they can't go on the turf. And with the middle school now, they occupy the grass athletic, the lacrosse fields over at the middle school. We can't be throwing balls around when track is out there. So by the time students would get on the bus, go home, they would have to turn around and brought back. So our solution was to start a study hall in the cafeteria. And also we have some clubs that meet and have to wait as well before certain clubs can start. So they're meeting in the cafeteria, snacks provided. And currently we have, I believe, a security guard that monitors them currently in the cafeteria. So just wanted to bring you up to date on
We
that.
also just hired at the meeting tonight, we hired teachers. So we're gonna have two
Right.
teachers with the security because it's a large number of kids.
That's what I was gonna ask, how many kids it
Right.
is.
Depending on game nights and all, that number will fluctuate some. But I know there was 26 or 27 there the other day when we had some games going out. So those numbers will fluctuate as well. As for the turf, they're supposed to be in next week
Okay.
to repair that under warranty.
Bless you, bless you.
That's correct.
Yeah, under warranty.
It's
on
under
that.
warranty, wonderful.
Yes. As for the tennis courts, until we get 75 or above, the gentleman, he just can't come out yet because it's just too cold to look in and make a.
Think we'll get there before the end of the school year?
Well, tennis will be done next week, actually. So EPCs are next week already, and
Oh.
then districts after that.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to use them for our team this year. But Pocono Mountain West was nice enough to allow us, but with all the weather changes, the days we're supposed to go practice actually became days for matches. But they're still there in case we do have students that make EPCs and make districts, so they have a place to practice. And the community has reached out a lot, and I emailed them back and explained that they are locked because we don't want anyone to get hurt, but we also don't want to damage any further the top portion of the court too. And then they were all reasonable and they understood that as well. So that's the turf, the courts, study hall, and the last thing I want to share, and I think I sent you the share for a slide presentation today. I emailed it to you on that, which is fully automated timing.
Oh, well, I'll take a look at it real quick and see if I can find it.
Yeah, I emailed you or shared it with you via Google.
All right.
While you look at your study hall, are you
Get the
seeing
segue.
a decrease on issues? I know there was a lot.
Like in the gyms and the hallways and all, yes, we are seeing a decrease in that. There were kids that would just kind of hang out in certain corners of the building, unsupervised and all that. And again, some of those were activities along with our athletes too. And we did see this past week a decrease in that amount of people. And it was brought because, our custodians are out working on, they're the ones that really brought it to our attention that it was happening. So fat timing, fully automated timing for track. I was just out at our Posada conference, and this is coming down the pike as a mandate from PIAA. Oh, okay, thank you. So what it is, a fully automated timing is that there's a camera set up at the finish line. Participants wear a sticker on their shorts And as they pass the line, it takes a picture and it, technology-wise, it tracks and records the time based upon that number as it crosses the finish line. We had this opportunity because Tuesday with the high winds, East Stroudsburg North could not host up at their campus because it was just too windy up there. It wasn't much less windier down here either, but we hosted because, as you know, the spring is the most difficult season with scheduling and moving events around. We didn't want to lose that date, so we brought them down here. They brought it along. It was a great system. We didn't need 6 workers there to push a button every time a lane came across the finish line, which again, we struggle with workers for our track meets to get the amount that we need for a productive track meet to keep it moving at all. Just wanted to share with you some of the reasoning why this FAT or fully automated timing system is important. Reason one, prepare for possible upcoming mandates from the PIAA. As I said, there was talk that they were going to move to this being required when hosting track meets. Increase accuracy of the time. There was a couple times that we were videotaping the finish. We had to use those phone videotapes to track the time because one of the workers didn't push the button fast enough and it didn't collect the time. And at the varsity level, that's very important to our athletes because it helps them get to districts, leagues, and eventually to states. Help reduce the length of the overall track meets, of course. With it being fully automated, it takes the picture, it's done, we can move on to the next meet. We're not resetting a lot of things because the camera is ongoing, and it keeps the movement of the track meet going. And it helps alleviate issues like having enough workers, as I mentioned earlier. So again, FAT, which is fully automated timing, is something that we could look at for the future. Go back one. Current meet issues, as I said, even last year I had to put a district-wide email out to get track workers. Workers are doing multiple events, so errors occur because you're rushing from one event to the other event, and sometimes errors occur, and we don't want to have those errors occur, especially at our varsity level, where those times and those places are important for our student athletes. Our current needs right now, along with event manager and myself being there, we need 1 announcer, 6 timers, 1 results manager, that's a statistician. We still need that statistician, even though the data is being collected by this system. We still need that statistician to take all that data and get it out to our participating schools. And we had 8 event judges in all the different events that we do on the field side of a meet. Approximate cost per worker with FICA, retirement, and all is $64. So, we say $45 in our contract, but overall it does cost us about $64.15. Total cost per meet is about $1,026.40, and that's not including the official fees. Looking ahead at the actual system, there are 2 routes that we can go. One is an in-house system. We've flat out purchased the system. Approximate cost would be about $15,000. That's the cameras and everything involved with it, the tracking and all. About another $1,500 in the stickers, cords, and everything that you would need that are not, you can't reuse them because, once you put them on their pants and all, they don't re-stick. So total cost of about $16,500. That doesn't include yearly updates with software, any changes to the system or anything like that. Then the other one would be to utilize an outside timing company, which East Stroudsburg School District does, but they get a cheaper rate because they gave him the equipment that they had bought previously, and they just couldn't find the people to run it properly. So the outside company would be approximately $700 a meet. So approximate cost per season would be an extra $2,800 with an average of 4 meets per year at home. So just wanted to share some of those things. Now, we would not have the cost of timers for each of those, so it would be it would eliminate those, but we could use those people in our field events where a lot of them are going anyhow. But I just wanted to share with you that this may be something we need to look at in the future when it becomes a mandate. So I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar this evening.
Jim, tell me what East Stroudsburg does again?
So they have this system, so they bought the system.
They bought the system.
They did, but they couldn't find someone to learn the system.
Okay,
So they use this outside company that does it. He uses their equipment, but he owns his own equipment, so he gives them a discount. So instead of paying, we would pay with not having the equipment, $700 a meet, they only pay $600.
that's what I wanted to know. What the discount, I guess, was.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many home meets do we have a year?
4 approximately. And it could also be used for cross country too.
Do we also use it in middle school?
We could use it for middle school too.
Just to break down the cost of it per use.
Mhm. In middle school, we usually have 2 home meets.
What does it entail to run it?
You need a computer. It comes with the camera that points right on the finish line. It has trackers that would help the camera focus on there. There's a cord that hooks up to the starter's gun. You can either go wireless or there's a 500-foot cord. I would suggest go wireless instead of dragging that cord all the way across the football field to the starting lines. The software, of course, the biggest, I think, cost is in the camera, the tripods, and all that need to be set up with that. I could do a breakdown better of each equipment for this. I just, like I said, I just wanted to do a general.
Yeah, this might be a stupid question, but if they couldn't figure out how to run it, we can.
Again, the guy who did it.
I know it won't be me, so.
Yeah, I know that too. Poor
It takes a
baby.
lot to
It's
learn
with all the
system.
paper in front of
Is
you.
something that the track coaches are pushing for?
No, this is something I learned out at
Outside,
a
okay,
conference that I was out a couple weeks ago. I mean, there was a lot of stuff thrown at us with Title IX and all, but this was one that stuck out to me. None of our track coaches really brought it up yet. I know our statistician, Mr. Hint, who does it, said, because he deals with a lot of the other statisticians in the districts, like Allentown just bought a new system for theirs as well. Parkland has it. East Stroudsburg uses it. So Stroudsburg uses it. So it is, people are trying to get on board now.
Because it's mandated for 25, 26.
It's not mandated yet, but it's coming down.
Oh, it's not mandated for
Not
25,
yet,
26?
not yet, no.
Oh, okay, I
wanted to put it
misunderstood
on
that
your
then.
radar
No,
That it was
Okay.
coming down the pike.
Oh, okay.
The thing with that, I witnessed it, I went down to watch it, and we look at the price, and we were talking about this, that if we bought it for 15,000, again, we have to train somebody to do it, and then what if they can't do it? Well, I gotta train somebody else, and then if you divide the 2,800 into the 15,000, how many years are you gonna get out of that? And then that machine might be breaking over time, so you're gonna pay for that, so it's almost like going with the paid company to do it. I mean, that's.
So again, there's two options that we could look at over time, but I just wanted to share that with everyone this evening.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. Anything else, Jim?
No, I think that's all. Oh, girls won tonight, lacrosse.
Oh, great.
We're undefeated still with girls. Boys baseball won tonight. Boys middle school baseball won tonight. Didn't hear about boys lacrosse, but overall our spring season's going very well, except for this weather.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah, sounds like it. And Saturday doesn't look any better. I don't think
Thank
it-
God we don't have any.
Anything Saturday? All right. All right, any questions for Mr. Krasinski? Anything from the public on athletics?
It pertains to the new building, I mean, the new renovations and then the new building. If the community has concerns about.
So this isn't athletics at this point. I'm asking about only athletics.
Yes, it is, because they're afraid they don't have enough room for the teams to practice. They're losing space for practices and they're concerned.
The outside facilities, the outside organizations.
Everybody, because now the kids in school, our own kids are, not gonna have enough time to practice. We're gonna be scheduled out maybe over three different schedules now instead of early, late. These are parents that are concerned for this, for their own kids in school, about being out later because they don't think there's enough room for the kids. You're gonna have to have.
That's not the feeling we got, Randy.
This is
Yeah,
what we
they-
just heard the last couple weeks.
Well, they had a meeting with the outside organizations just recently.
Just saying what we just heard. So I'm saying they're concerned about that.
Well,
With the less space in alternate schedules and waste practices. There's less physical education spaces, and they're concerned about it, and that's what we've been hearing.
I don't think that's accurate. We look at this, we meet, yeah. Sure, no, but we've accounted for all of that.
I mean, we asked, community groups, and we're even keeping our groups at a 2-hour maximum on usage for practices and all, and anything over 2 hours, really, as a coach, I was a coach, you start losing the kids after 2 hours, with that. And they were all in agreement with communicating amongst each other. We've been communicating, we've gotten emails from them, we talked with them.
Our sports teams are coming first, they get
Yeah.
first crack at everything.
Right.
And then the outside groups, they are working quite, actually, I talked to Rebecca today, with TV Cubs, they're all working together pretty good so far.
Yeah,
Just
and
more
even,
Yeah.
even our own buildings, like, the PBI contacted, Mr. Smale and myself about the summer, would they be impacted, because they have to do summer school there, and, PBE will be coming over there because of the rugs being ripped up and all, and we said, not this summer, but possibly next summer. You know, we gave, her a heads up, and, you know, we've been communicating, so, just to let you know, it's been very successful, that community meeting that Mr. Smale and I had, it enlightened us too about how things, and we have the new system that we're gonna be taking on, with scheduling too, which is going to help a lot too.
But I will say throughout the construction project, everybody has to be flexible because everybody wants it to look just like it looks now, and it just can't. But if we're all flexible and work together, they're gonna have a beautiful new facility when it's done.
They were concerned afterwards, because like even losing one court, we're still losing one court, I can't remember.
No, we're not losing any courts.
They're gonna have 3 courts or something.
Yeah, we're not losing any, they're not losing any courts.
I just only have one more thing.
Is it on athletics at this point?
Also, if I could make a comment, the Weston Fairground has some space available. They have some ball fields if you ever need to practice, et cetera. You can contact. I'm a member, and I was a former director, but we'd be willing to work with you. We have in the past for a number of the teams to provide place to do practices and that kind of
We
thing.
can share that, of course, with, I think the biggest, concern are the gym spaces.
Yeah.
That's the
The outside
biggest.
fields aren't really affected by it.
Yeah, because we have a lot of fields also at PBE and PBI that they use. It's the gym space that they're concerned mostly with.
I know we talked, sorry, go ahead. I know we talked about Polk, I know we talked about Eldred.
No,
Chestnut
Chestnut Hill.
Which is right next to
Right.
the high school.
It's right over there.
What was the
Yeah,
verdict on that? What was the verdict? That was my specific. What was the verdict on that for the gym? Do we go into that?
We can't,
Yeah.
yes, we have that,
They use the gym.
we rent that,
They
those spaces out, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, but they
daycare
don't
centers
daycare at
and
7 o'clock at
PHA,
night
there's
though,
something in
right?
those gyms. There's no custodians at either one of those schools.
Yeah, but they have stuff in there.
I understood.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't understand because we all got to work together on this.
Yeah.
So I want to say I understand, but
I don't know if Dr. Conrad shared the comments, from our meeting that Randy, Mr. Smale and I sent.
no, not yet. But I know you had the meeting. How did that go?
Again, I think it went well. I think,
That was on the
I think one of the-
26th, right, of March,
Yeah.
roughly. That
yeah, it was
I
right
remember.
before our last board meeting. It was
Yeah.
like that Wednesday.
That was
before.
with the feeder program. I like to call them feeder programs, the
Yeah.
outside organizations.
It was pretty packed. It was right in here.
I would say there's probably 12 group representatives.
Yeah, I
that
think
night.
so.
Good.
You know, they shared their concerns too, and, I know, they wanted everyone's, contact information, which we sent out because they wanted to start working together, inter-group along with us, so.
Thank you.
And I'm sure Dr. Conrad will share those comments with the board.
Down to, sorry.
I was waiting to, I do have one more question about the fat timing system. I think it would be really helpful if you line graphed out the cost over the life of the system. You have the initial investment of whatever the 12 or 15,000 versus the ongoing costs, and map out the three as 3 separate lines. And then at the end of, say, 5 years of the system, you could say which option would have been most cost effective.
5.3 5.427, I did the math already. If you do the 6 timers at roughly $380 a match, based on the calculation that you just gave, that's why I asked about the 4 matches, plus, right, Mr. O'Keefe talked about the 2 middle school matches, divided by 4 divided by 2, you come out at 5, so in 5.427 years, you're looking at offsetting the cost of how much it would have to 6 timers, but at that cost, what John was saying, I'm sorry, Mr. Kaczynski was saying about the wear and tear and possible additional measures we might have to go, I don't know, the secondary option on that chart made more sense after thinking about it, but anyway.
Especially with the, you know,
Operating
software
it.
upgrades.
And you need somebody, you're gonna have to pay somebody to operate it also, yeah. Cost and all the other stuff.
But thank you for thinking about that.
Yeah. All right, anything else under athletics? Okay, any other? Any other? Any other, okay, any other?
One
Yeah.
quick question,
Mhm.
might be for Mr. Fitzgerald, but there's talk of the labor laws being changed so that the kids can work longer hours and late at night. There's enough kids working for their academics. It's just a question. Is there something we do policy-wise to help this? Is have kids coming dragging down?
I can tell you that, that's not up to us. We issue, work permits for students, but those laws are set by the state, not by us.
It's just, I can't believe they're gonna let them work every night.
Okay. Hearing nothing else? Okay, motion to adjourn, or we are adjourned? At 9:07, mark that down, somebody.
Actually, you guys tell James. Come on, text him.
We all should text him.
We're done.
We're done.